Welcome to a journey into the unknown. Tonight, we explore the shadows where history and mystery intertwine, uncovering stories that defy explanation and challenge what we think we know. Prepare to leave the familiar behind and embrace the strange, the eerie, and the unexplained. Light your lanterns and let's venture into the obscure. It was a crisp, rainy Halloween night in 1974 when Ronald Clark O'Bryan, an optician from Deer Park, Texas, decided to do something out of character. Known as a deacon at his local church and a father to two young children, O'Bryan had never shown much enthusiasm for Halloween. But this year, something was different. Underneath the facade of a devoted family man lay a man facing the weight of insurmountable debt, over $100,000 deep. With his car on the verge of repossession and the threat of losing his job looming over him, desperation was quietly brewing. That night, O'Bryan and his children, accompanied by a family friend and their two children, ventured out trick-or-treating. While wandering through the neighborhood, they approached a house with its lights off, a silent indication most trick-or-treaters recognized as no candy here. Yet, while the others moved on, O'Bryan lingered behind, only to reappear moments later with 5 large pixie sticks in hand. He claimed the residents of the dark house were handing out candy after all. Back home, he distributed the candy to the children, even giving one to an unsuspecting trick-or-treater at his door. But it was Timothy, O'Bryan's own 8-year-old son, who would become the victim of a carefully planned deception. When it came time to pick a piece of candy, Timothy reached for the pixie sticks. Struggling to get the powder out of the tube, Timothy mentioned it tasted bitter. His father, in a chillingly ordinary moment, offered him Kool-Aid to help wash it down. Moments later, Timothy began to vomit violently and convulse. His little body couldn't withstand the poison coursing through his veins. Less than an hour later, he was gone. When the medical examiner caught a whiff of almonds from Timothy's mouth, a haunting sign of cyanide poisoning, it confirmed everyone's worst fears. The pixie sticks had been laced with enough cyanide to kill several adults. Authorities acted quickly, managing to recover the remaining pixie sticks from the other children before it was too late. Investigators discovered that someone had cut open the top of each tube, emptied out the top 2 inches of powdered candy, refilled it with poison, and resealed it with a staple. It was only by chance that another boy hadn't suffered the same fate. He couldn't open his pixie sticks because of that staple. At first, the community sought to make sense of what seemed like a random act of cruelty. But as investigators dug deeper, O'Bryan's story began to unravel. His accounts of the fateful night shifted with each retelling. And when he eventually led police to the supposed house where he claimed the pixie sticks were given, it turned out that the homeowner wasn't even there, working a shift elsewhere, completely unaware of the horror unfolding in his neighborhood. The evidence against O'Bryan painted a far darker picture than anyone could have imagined. A man drowning in debt and struggling to maintain a facade of normalcy. He had taken out multiple life insurance policies on his children in the months leading up to Halloween, enough to clear his debts. The morning after Timothy's death, he made a call to the insurance company to inquire about the payout. Investigators even found an adding machine tape in O'Bryan's home, meticulously listing his financial obligations and calculating what the life insurance would cover. Then there were the more damning details, his casual inquiries to chemical companies about purchasing cyanide, and his disturbing question to a professor, "What's more lethal than cyanide?" Despite the mounting evidence, O'Bryan proclaimed his innocence, but the courtroom was filled with damning testimonies from friends, family, and colleagues. The media, gripped by the sinister irony, branded him the Candyman. On June 3, 1975, he was found guilty of capital murder and 4 counts of attempted murder. After years of appeals and prolonged legal battles, Ronald Clark O'Bryan was executed by lethal injection on March 31, 1984. The tale of the Candyman left a scar on a holiday meant for innocent fun, deepening fears about tainted Halloween candy and planting seeds of doubt in the minds of every parent. From that night on, families would forever look at their children's treats with suspicion, haunted by the question, How well do we really know the people around us? As we lower our lanterns for now, remember, the world is brimming with mysteries just waiting to be explored. If you enjoyed this journey, leave a light in the comments, share your thoughts, or suggest where our next adventure should take us. Until then, keep your lanterns ready, your minds curious, and your lights shining. See you in the next chapter of Observing the Obscure.